It's the Daily Drama Podcast with Steve and Bradford, presented by dailydrama.com.
What up, Bradford?
Hey, dude, your little setup there is super fancy. It's
listen, man, it's gonna be good. Like I have a few more things to do, but it's gonna be, because if I do content, regular content, just for social, because I'm gonna start, trying to be consistent about my coaching business. I got this. I've got the soundproof tiles I'll put over here.
Yeah.
I got some ceiling tiles because I'm kind of in a basement.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. It's just a great place. I got a stand-up desk coming. It's awesome. I'm ready to rock and roll, buddy. Yeah.
Amazing. Speaking of rocking and rolling, in 5 weeks, 6 weeks, we're hitting the road.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to talk to you about. Remember when I called you?
Oh yeah.
And the girls you were taking the girls. So wait, you were taking the girls to a school dance at night?
Yeah, my oldest daughter's first dance.
Yeah, I got off the phone. I go, gosh, did he mean dance class? Because I didn't really even
know
anything about his girls like going to a dance. That's awesome.
Yeah, I had my oldest and two of her friends in the car. Sweet. And I was one of the chaperones.
Yeah, buddy.
And so you'll appreciate this. So like the chaperones have to get there early. They're in a Catholic school, so it was cotillion, which is a word that I've heard of but never knew anything about because I didn't go to Catholic school growing up. But
is this real cotillion?
I don't know what that means.
Okay, so I knew a kid back in the day, who went to cotillion, and that was it was more kind of a manners school.
Oh.
It was more of where it was old school where you learn manners and how to which fork to pick up, open the door for the lady, how to properly dance.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. He was a young guy and he was super respectful. I go, who are you? He's like, oh, I went to cotillion. I'm like, what is this?
Oh, that's fantastic. I think it's an organization.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think, and there's local chapters, people that head up their local. Gotcha. I think because there's this one woman in this area that organizes it.
Well, that wouldn't be a bad thing for every kid to go to, would it?
Well, what's cool about it is it was in a big function center, but there was only like 3 or 4, and it's only 8th grade, so it wasn't super crowded. And it was just so. Anyway, you when you show up as a chaperone, you get assigned a duty, like you get assigned to a door to make sure kids don't leave because they have to come. There's an arrival time and then there's a departure time. You can't leave. You are in for the experience, and you check your phone. Oh. So 2.5 hours, you're on site. You can't leave, and you don't have your phone. So
beautiful.
Yeah. So anyway, so some people get assigned to the bathrooms to make sure that no shenanigans in the bathrooms, doors, water station. I got assigned to the DJ. I was the guy standing up on stage with the DJ to make sure like the kids stayed away from his stuff. I was like the DJ's bodyguard. It was amazing. So like I could legitimately say, oh, I'm with the DJ, but what was cool is that the DJ had some lights that were, shining, and I was standing underneath the lights. So if you're looking at the stage, you probably couldn't see me.
Yeah.
And I could see, I was up on like, it was a Unitarian church, where it was. So there was like like a stage.
Riser. Yeah.
So I could see everything that was happening.
That's awesome.
And because there were no phones, because they could not leave, wow, you saw these kids having it was the moments, and it was exactly like my 8th grade dances because we did not have phones, and we got dropped off and couldn't Uber home. Like if you were uncomfortable, you couldn't leave, right? Like you have to, if you're uncomfortable. And there was this one kid, this really sweet kid who just walked, just had his hands in his pockets, head down, just because he didn't know anybody or didn't have someone to tether to. So his way of dealing with his uncomfortability was like having his head and just walking
Yeah.
So you saw that. You saw the kids that were super confident. You saw the
Yeah.
kids that were,
Isn't that crazy?
and you saw the kids taking chances.
Yeah. That's
It
awesome.
was just so,
Yeah.
I was so grateful that like kids this age can have that kind of experience.
Yeah. It's amazing because I remember McKenna went to it might have been a high school dance, and they had to check their phones, but they also had everyone had headphones on.
Oh.
So it wasn't just loud music.
Oh.
So people had headphones, like really nice headphones on that
Yeah.
come from the DJ brings in with the headphones. They call it quiet something. I don't know. It was like,
So if you wanted to dance, you would put the
yeah, you would
headphones
have the
on.
headphones on with the music. If not, you would just have complete quiet.
That is really cool.
It's kind of interesting, right? Like, so, but yeah, it's cool, man. Like back then when you had none of this technology and you were just being a kid and, being at a dance and having an air guitar contest
Man.
and all those things. It was just so,
Yeah.
so amazing,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, in the
Absolutely.
freaking in the middle school gym. It's the best.
Oh yeah. So I was just so grateful that because I don't know what you know I, things don't always I think every parent wants their kid to have the best of what they had when they were younger,
Sure. Of
right?
course.
Like and try to avoid the worst of what they had. Um,
Yeah.
but
So
yeah,
we were talking about music, and that's what I called you about.
yeah,
Um, I was for our show coming
right,
up here in April.
yes,
Um, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, correct?
yeah. Monday Tacoma, Tuesday Sacramento, Wednesday Denver, Thursday Yamava and SoCal.
SoCal, yeah. So I was thinking, because I know you open with music, right? And I think
Yes,
that's a great opener.
yeah,
Go back to one of the old school ones,
yeah.
and then you do yours. Um, you do your routine, and then we would pick if there's a song. How many parodies did you do when we did Stone Cold and Jack? What was the variation of those?
I
Was it
did. I I did like a parody about my character, like or just like a
Oh
song.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
okay, great. So
and,
so I think that's a good one. The Will Smith song, right?
yeah,
The Fresh Prince. Yeah,
yeah.
right. So yeah, I think if you do the opener, you do your bits, you do that song, or whatever you fit it in. I come out normally.
Hmm.
I do my bits, and then if whatever's next for us, if it's whatever bit we have
Hmm.
scheduled to do, but I think there's a way to close the show with three songs
Oh, I see. Have it like be like a musical section.
at the end of the show, and that's it. And we'll talk about those songs, but
Yeah,
I think it could be interesting, you know.
yeah,
It could be interesting.
yeah. So you're right. It's
It
yeah.
would be They would be the one they would all be parody songs.
Oh, even the ones at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, versus just hey, this is where we entertain you with music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So
interesting.
I
Yeah, no,
think that
that like I'm curious to hear what you're talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it's fun, friends, to think about, to think about because we loved the show that we did, and some of the stuff is still relevant, but we want to have a new take on it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of the bits, some of the bits that we have, it's easy to update them. And
Yeah, and I think at the end, uh, people would be more acclimated and receptive to parody songs.
sure,
They'll be more willing to listen and go, "Oh, that's fun. Okay, okay," as opposed to the excitement of you coming out singing, people are screaming,
sure,
your first verse is gone,
right, right,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
uh, I think it could be pretty cool. I mean, listen, dude, if it's a dud, we change it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right,
So,
for sure. Well, if you're interested in seeing our live show, again, it's Tacoma, Sacramento, Denver, and Southern California at the Yamava Casino in Highland. Tickets are available at stonecoldandthejackal.com. Some of the venues are selling pretty fast, though, so do not wait. That is April 21st through the 24th.
Yeah.
And now we have time for some questions that you guys submitted through our Facebook page.
Let's do it.
This is from Jackie. Thank you, Jackie. Does Steve like where his storyline's going now? He's probably been doing his best work ever. Jason is so much more than how he's something than how he's been written to be before. I think what she's alluding to is that Jason is more expressive than he used to be, perhaps. Do you think that's the truth?
I think I think there's probably more. I think because I've changed so much as a human being that it's translated into my work now as Jason.
That's really cool.
I mean, I guess, I don't know. Is it? Is it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that
people grow, like characters grow, but like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Jason's had life experiences too.
Yeah, no, I think it's interesting. It's, life imitating art to some degree, where there was struggle and adversity for both, and then coming back. So there's definitely more, I think, more depth to Jason. So yeah, I appreciate that comment. And yeah, I think it's just because of life experience at this point. Yeah. Again, we get to the point where we get to play the same character for so long. It's hard for your outside life not to affect your daily work.
Sure. Well, but I mean, thinking about how, and forgive me if I say if this doesn't quite add up to, but like Jason and your approach to Jason in the early years of Jason Morgan was to not let things affect him, right? Like right. And and it would be easy to be like, oh, that's who this character is. That's my linchpin for him. That's how I get into him, is not letting things affect him. And so that's really cool that as you've grown and allowing your character to grow, to allow that to happen, to be like, okay, I don't need to cling so tightly to that notion.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And I think there's an evolution of, it was anger boy. Everything was anger.
Yeah. Right.
Everything was I was the angriest. People knew, and I think that's changed.
Sure.
I think Jason's way more stoic now than angry. He had a bit of stoicism in his demeanor.
Right.
But it was, he was very, it's funny because he wasn't emotional, but he was.
Right.
Right. So it's interesting now. I don't feel he's as angry. He can get there, of course, but it's more, there's just more layers, I think, now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
it's cool. And to kind of piggyback on that question, Laura Wright and I just had some incredible scenes.
Yeah, I saw that she posted something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, twice now. Before the break, we had a good run of scenes, and you guys will it was just classic. It was classic Jason and Carly, but with more depth.
Sure. So some humor perhaps, or some
it was more of, I don't know, because Jason and Carly have a great connection and a deep connection, but this was more of a my stance was more desperate. Let's just say that.
Sure.
So that brought out more layers in the scenes, because again, you never really know. The scenes were written well, but you never really know how they're going to go.
Of course.
Until we go. And it was one of those times where it was like, a set of scenes that had to be added in because we were all over the place and whatever. And literally we shot them and they went up to editing.
Right.
Like immediately. And it was that the next morning, the editor found me and Lauren's like, those scenes were unbelievable.
Did those air already?
They didn't air yet. No.
Okay. I wasn't sure if this was before the break or not.
Yeah. Coming soon for sure.
Okay.
I'll just say they're in the vicinity. I can't say.
Okay. But then since coming back, you guys had some too.
Yeah, we just had some yesterday. Yesterday we had some good ones. Yeah.
Awesome, dude.
So yeah, man, it's been great. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So it's
Awesome.
cool. We're having a good time.
Fantastic. Well, thanks again for spending another week with us, friends.
You guys are awesome.
Again, late April, swing through Tacoma, Sacramento, Denver, and Southern California. Stone cold.
And we're working on July, I think.
That's right.
Now.
That's
we're
right.
Working on July, and then we'll be working on the holidays.
That's right. That's right. We got a kind of a Midwest up and down.
Yeah,
Midwest,
we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it,
and that's not a euphemism. The old Midwest up and down.
Yeah, well, you've been at too many truck stops, buddy. All right.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Stay away from Buc-ee's, Bradford. All right.